Is it live?
3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's one hell of a pilot.
Well,
Oh, you must get me another rock pronto. I am totally bummed out.
Don't worry, 3PO. You'll have some rocks to put in that pipe very soon. Don't you worry. I promise.
I got so excited I just called out my former college roommate and turned him into crack paraphernalia.
What the fuck is that thing?
He was an industrial strength toothbrush, and now he's reduced to this.
Let me see. Where is the blinker?
There's a woman driving that ship. Full alert. Shields up. Women are not good drivers. Men are good drivers. Sir, our data shows that many women are turning into good drivers. Really? I'll believe that when I see it. There's one turning into us right now. What? Look out!
Welcome, young Skywalker.
I was a terror since the public school era. Bathroom passes, cutting classes, squeezing asses. Smoking blunts was a daily routine since 13. A chubby nigga on the scene. I used to have the tray deuce and the deuce in my bubble goose. Now I got the Mac in my knapsack, lounging black, smoking sacks up in accent sidekicks with my sidekicks, rocking fly kicks. Honeys wanna chat, but all we wanna know is where the party at. And can I bring my gat? If not, I hope I don't get shot. Better throw my vest on my chest, cause niggas is a mess. It don't take nothing but frontin' for me to start something. Bucking and bucking at niggas like I was duck hunting. Dumbing out just me and my crew, cause all we wanna do is bullshit and party and bullshit and party and bullshit and party and bullshit and party and bullshit. It's the N-O-G-O-R-I-O-U-S. You just lay down slow. It's the N-O-G-O-R-I-O-U-S. You just lay down slow. Bitches in the back looking righteous. In a tight dress, I think I might just hit her with a little Biggie 101. How to tote a gun and have fun with Jamaican rum conversation. Blunts in rotation, my man Big John got the Glock in his waist and we're smoking, drinking. Got the hooker thinking, if money smell bad, then this nigga Big is stinking. Is it my charm? I got the hookers eating out my palm. She grabbed my arm and said, let's leave calm. I'm hitting skins again. Rolled up another blunt for the Heineken. Niggas thought the lope out, a kid got choked out, clothes were stoned, and a fucking fight broke out. Can't we just all get along so I can put hickeys on the chest like little Sean? Get a pissy drunk off a Dom Perignon, and it's on, and I'm gone. That's that party and bullshit and party and bullshit and party and bullshit and party and bullshit. It's the N-O-G-O-R-I-O-U-S. You just lay down. slow. It's the N-O-G-O. Bullshit and party. Just lay down slow.
That's much better than the one I had in the movie.
Hello there.
Hello there. You guys know me, all you guys here. I'm Steve, that Star Wars boy, the most knowledgeable Star Wars expert on all of the Earth. And I brought a couple of my friends with me. You guys all know them too. Crazy Mad and Arrogant Ape.
What's good, guys? It's me, Double A. I'm just an alliterating ape, absolutely apoplectic about Ahsoka. I'm a professional pissed primate, prequel apologist, and a poor man's Palpatine impersonator.
Hi, I'm Crazy Mad, 40-year Star Wars fan from the concrete jungles of Corellia, and I always shoot first.
He does, especially on Twitter. Today we're going to talk about some upcoming Star Wars events. Ahsoka, the new Ahsoka show's coming out soon. Originally, we were going to do a pre-show and go tomorrow night at 1 a.m. and lead up to the show, but they changed the premiere to, tomorrow night at 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock, something, I don't know. Google it. So what do we have here to start with, guys?
Well, we're here with the facts, man. That's why we said Google it at the beginning. You can find out all you need to by Googling it.
Yeah.
We're here to talk about all things Star Wars. In this case, Ahsoka, an upcoming American limited series created and written by Dave Filoni for Disney Plus. Some would consider it a continuation of The Mandalorian, but I think we'll see from the cast of characters that really it's a continuation of Rebels. And if you don't know much about Rebels, we're going to drop some knowledge on you right now. Before we do that, though, we have to honor the chat, who hates my alliteration, apparently. Sorry, Aldous there. We got a wonderful chat with us tonight, though. Let's start right from the top here. Number one, in our hearts and in our chats, we've got the one, the only Mo Biggs. Can we get a highlighted comment from Mo Biggs there?
I don't know how to highlight comments.
You just tap the
That's
comment.
great. Neither do I.
Okay. All right. Show? Is that how you do it?
Yeah.
Oh, look at
There
that.
you go.
See, look, I'm going to figure it all out here tonight.
Yeah, and he's giving some helpful advice to one of our other guests tonight, Blue Samurai Zero. How you doing, Blue? Honor the rap, indeed.
Yeah.
Of course, we got Crazy Mad on the panel and in the chat. Thanks for joining us, buddy.
You're welcome. Anytime.
Yeah, we got 80s made consumer hailing around. Hey,
Hell,
brother,
80s.
how you doing?
What were you watching over there tonight? I was just over there.
He was watching Masters of the Universe.
Yeah. That movie sucks.
80s Made's got a great channel. He watches movies that suck and that are sometimes good too. He's worth chopping in. He's a funny guy. And man, does he love media? Does he love physical media, folks? Impressive stuff. We've got Leia the Plug joining us in the chat tonight. Thank you, Leia, for stopping in.
Welcome, Leia.
Hail Leia the Plug.
We've got Aldous on the moisture farm just off Tashi Station. Thank you so much for coming in.
And he has his own channel, The Gutter.
Yeah, I was on that show.
Where he...
Don't brag, Steve. It's not becoming.
That's how I got famous.
But yeah, Aldous has got his own show, The Gutter. Premieres on Fridays. And varying topics, mostly concerned with comics, but across a
one of the few
genres.
Shows in our comic book community that's actually about comic books. So thank you, Aldous. Oh, Jay is here. Hail, Jay.
I see the Link Master Felix Haas is in the chat.
Felix. Yeah, we'll mod Felix and Mo as soon as I figure out how to do it.
I think you just got to click on their name, and then it should come up as a mod option. You might have to do it in YouTube, though.
Yeah, I don't know. I can put them in timeout or ban them.
which I
Do
don't
not
want to
do
that.
I know that's
Do-
the only
do not
choices
do
it gives
either
me.
one of those.
It's the only choices it gives me. So I don't know. Why don't we just dive right into tonight's topics?
Sure. So we're going to talk about Ahsoka. Mostly, we're paying attention to some of the characters here. We're looking at some clips from the trailer and using some of our knowledge of the characters from Rebels to maybe determine where the show's going to go. And then we're going to give some of our thoughts and feelings on the show. I think some of us on this panel feel a bit more warmly about the show than others do, and that's understandable because Disney's kind of served us a mixed bag as far as Star Wars goes. But kind of topping it off, the person who I consider to be the Rebels expert would be Crazy Mad here. So, Crazy Mad, why don't you start us off with some of these characters that we're looking at today?
First and foremost is the title character of Ahsoka Tano, former Jedi who left the Jedi Order after one too many injustices. She's coming back to find Ezra Bridger and also searching for Thrawn because Thrawn is the new bad guy overall. She was pulled from the world between worlds, and this is actually that was the second time that she has actually died in the Disney continuity.
Oh yeah, Mortis.
Yeah, she died on Mortis, and then she died also in Rebels Season 2 finale, and was brought back by the World Between Worlds. Where
They should have
Ezra
just
found
left
her.
her dead because she's Anakin's apprentice, and then he killed her, and it was just more powerful for both characters if she would have died. But she didn't, and they brought her back. So now she has her own show, and hopefully it won't suck. It's like we're three Star Wars fans here clinging on the last hope that maybe Disney won't suck all the time. So far, the animation stuff's been some of the best stuff they've done, and we kind of think maybe that's because Kathleen Kennedy doesn't pay attention because it's just kids stuff. And so the Bad Batch I liked a lot.
Yeah, the
Mo's
Bad
gonna
Batch is
be-
great.
I like the Bad Batch myself.
Yeah,
too.
it kind of continues from the Clone Wars. Rebels started off kind of cheap looking and kind of, I don't know, targeted at a younger audience, kind of dumb. And it kind of grew into a little bit, well, I'd say a much better show by the time it ended. Yeah,
I'd say
Jeremy,
I'd say that's fair.
here's how you protect yourself from disappointment is just have no expectations, go in there with a clean mind, a fresh attitude, and maybe
Maybe you'll come out
it'll be
unscathed.
okay. I'm hopeful that the show's going to be good, but you guys
You never
where we're
know.
at. I know.
Well, they've done some good things. Like the first 2 seasons of Mando, I feel are pretty good. I really enjoyed Andor.
Andor I liked more than Mando. Just the serious tone of the show and the lead into Rogue One, which is the best movie Disney's done. And it was kind of slow, but at the end it paid off pretty good. That was a pretty decent show. Obi-Wan was like there was some cool imagery in it, but that show was completely stupid.
Yeah, I don't feel like they should have ever done Obi-Wan from the get-go.
Yeah,
No.
not that great. There's a couple cool scenes in it, but all the Jedi were way too overpowered. Kind of like this whole thing about how Darth Vader can just pull ships out of the air. Why did he let the Millennium Falcon escape? So
100%. Yeah. And, along with the continuity errors.
I hope they
because of...
do, Mo. I hope they do give us the third Ewok Adventures.
Oh,
we
Let's
watched
do it.
that. We watched that with 80s one night, and we all kind of liked it, even though it was kind of
Those
Stupid.
movies gave us the blurgs, man.
Mm-hmm.
How can you hate a film that does that for you? And
And
I'm
the
telling you,
Gorax.
the Gorax. My kid's first bit of Star Wars media was the Ewoks movies. He was crazy about them. He loved especially the first one. But I'm with Blue Samurai Zero as well. Just give us the third Ewok adventure already. We don't need conditions. Please.
Yeah. It couldn't be any worse than some of the other stuff they've done.
Exactly. But kind of going back to Ahsoka, the character, right? Clearly she's been through a lot, being, kind of put on trial by the Jedi, leaving the Jedi. She's kind of purified these kyber crystals that she's found, so she's got these unique looking lightsabers. She's died twice. Like you said, I'd forgotten about that. Pulled out of the world between worlds by Ezra during a fight with Vader, and fought Morgan Elsbeth most recently to find Thrawn. That's another character that we're going to see in the show as well, both Morgan Elsbeth and Thrawn. So as far as Ahsoka goes, she's done quite a bit. This is a character that initially at the start of the Clone Wars, I wasn't too crazy about her. Like Anakin having an apprentice while he's an apprentice, right? And she's this like kind of wacky little kid, but it kind of grew on me like she grew on a lot of Star Wars fans. And for that reason, I'm glad to see her have a solo series. I'm hoping very much that some of the energy that came from the animated shows comes into this one, rather than the laziness that we see in like Mando season 3 coming into this.
Well, if nothing else, the casting for this series is just excellent. And Rosario Dawson is a top-notch actress.
She does not look like Ahsoka at all. And her Lekus look like they're made out of styrofoam so far in the Mando.
Yeah, and they were too short.
Yeah, way too short, because they've shown her several times in animation, and they're real long, and now they're like real short. So, and they look like styrofoam, and they don't move. So
and that's the
I'm not
problem with
impressed
going
with that
from
so far. Hera looked just like she was pulled right out of the cartoon. Ahsoka doesn't quite look right.
But it's Rodaw, man. I'm holding out for Rodaw here. I just want to see her. I don't care if she's painted blue. Let's put Rosario Dawson on film. Let's see it. Oh, so that's our title character. And we know more or less what to expect from her. Next one up is Sabine Wren. Crazy, can you tell us a little about Sabine? And Steve, do you have any video or photos that we can look at here to kind of give people a visual?
Sabine Wren, being played by Natasha Liu Bordizzo, is supposedly, from all the critics saying, the breakout character of this cast. Is a demolitions expert.
Oh, where I put the pictures.
She is quite handy with a darksaber. She was trained by Kanan Jarrus in that art. And the saber that she carries, the green lightsaber that everyone has seen in the trailers, it's not her saber. It is actually Ezra Bridger's saber that he gave to her before he launched himself into space with Thrawn. And she's kind of a free spirit Mandalorian. Gruff on the outside, and yeah.
Well, everyone's saying, is she a Force user? And is she Ahsoka's Padawan? And I don't know, it might explain how she can jump around like Spider-Man in the cartoon. That part always kind of bothered me.
She just had on some wicked moon boots, Steve.
Yeah.
Got to get with it. That was in the developer's notes. Yeah, Sabine, got to be honest, not my favorite character from Rebels. But, she did show that she trained, like you said, with Kanan, as well as Ezra, the art of a lightsaber. She wielded the dark saber for some time before giving that up without having to fight to the death, which became a rule later in Mando. Another cause for concern.
She's definitely stronger than she is independent. Mo.
Oh, that's true. She's yeah.
And Jay, you'll need to stay tuned till later. We have a special message just for you regarding Twilight on Twilight action.
Mobiggs, I'd also like to add that she don't need no man. As we can see from the cast, there are actually almost no men. There's like Thrawn.
Yeah, that was when I saw the trailer. I was thinking, are there any dudes in this entire galaxy?
Well, which leads us to the next character on the list, a man, Ezra Bridger.
Hail Sumo.
Ezra was a Padawan to Kanan Jarrus, who himself was not actually a Jedi Knight. He's force sensitive, particularly to nature and creatures, as we saw with the Purgle and the Loth wolves and Loth cats and just about any Loth animal you can think of.
Now in the new show, he's like kind of the MacGuffin, because the last time we saw him, they disappeared, him and Thrawn, out into the outer regions with the Purgle. And they keep saying, Thrawn's going to return, the return of Thrawn. They kind of play it up a little bit. It's almost kind of stupid the way they're like, Thrawn is returning. Here we go. Hey, with some pictures. Where'd they go?
We probably need to talk over this too.
Okay, yeah.
That'd be
this
good.
This is the final scene of Rebels. Is it freezing up for all you guys? It's like locking up.
No, not at all. I'm
Okay.
seeing it.
So these are the Purgles. They can fly through hyperspace. This is the final scene. They came in. Ezra used before he liked to talk to him.
Ezra, please get out of
There's Sabine.
I can't do that.
God,
This was great for me because I feel like I know he didn't die,
there we go.
but I almost got to see Ezra die. And I really don't like that dude. He's too quippy. So this was wonderful.
He's
fan
kind
service for
of
me.
like a more obnoxious version of Ahsoka. They bring him in here. He's this young kid, and he's kind of snippy, but he's like not. I don't know. He stays kind of annoying throughout the series.
Yes, absolutely.
I actually like Ezra.
Crazy
would,
likes
Crazy.
he likes everything we hate, and he hates everything that we love.
I actually
So-
really enjoyed him. Like, he was like he lost both of his parents at a young age and was kind of a street rat, gone good. And you get to see that development over time.
Well,
I can't
anyway, they're
agree
going
with
to
that.
be at the end. That scene we were just watching, they disappeared, and now the whole plot of the new show is they're looking for these two.
The Force will be with you. Always.
But the part that bothers me in the trailers, they're like, Thrawn will return. If Thrawn, they build this guy up like he's more powerful than the damn Emperor and Vader. Like if Thrawn, if he exists and he comes here, we're all doomed. And it's a little bit excessive, I think. But
Yeah, I think it's one of those things where like the
Yeah, no.
character's fame in the fan groups is kind of what's driving people to write the characters to say these things. You know what I mean? Like people recognize Thrawn, they love Thrawn. So now the writers are kind of like, okay, let's really build him up in the show, as if people don't like him already. They're kind of feeding off the vibe of people, and I'm with you there. It's like, how
Yes.
dangerous is he? I mean, like, how clever is this guy? And that's a good question too. Is Thrawn too clever for the writers?
Well, if you make a character who's a military genius and a strategic wizard, and you yourself as the writer are not those things, then you have to. Your only way of showing that really is having the other characters build them up as such. So they kind of like.
So would you say that they are relying on his EU fame?
Oh, definitely. That's like throw the old fans a bone. We'll throw Grand Admiral Thrawn in here. He's a fan favorite from the EU. He's well known, one of the most famous. It'll make us look like, you know, we care about the fans. And Dave Filoni kind of does. A lot of people say, oh, well, they just cherry pick out of the EU and whatever. I don't think he does it maliciously. I think he's, you know, he wants to bring those things back into canon that were erased by Disney and, you know, fit them into where they fit now in the new Star Wars without, you know, directly copying them, but bringing the elements that they can. And they kind of build up in the original Heir to the Empire novel. Thrawn reappeared from the outer regions and found a mountain that was the Emperor's secret storehouse of all his treasures. And in there he had cloning tanks. And it was called Mount Tantus on the planet of Wayland. And they showed in Rebels, after the Clone Wars, they've moved all of the cloning facilities that they recovered from Camino into this mountain. And they called it Tantus, whether that was the name of the planet or the mountain specifically. That's obviously lifted from Heir to the Empire. Tantus on Wayland, yes. And so they've shown Tantus, you know, it's kind of redone, changed a little bit for the new show. But yeah, so we've seen Tantus, Grand Admiral Thrawn, and they've got this old man Jedi who's not Jorah Saboth from Heir to the Empire, but is like a ally Jedi to Admiral Thrawn, so that's kind of similar.
Well, that's a good segue into our next character.
Yeah, I remember this.
Balin Skull
Hot chocolate.
and tea.
We don't have hot chocolate, man. We have blue milk. We're like authentic canon drinks only.
That was weird. I do remember that.
Yeah, Michael T's definitely read Heir to the Empire. He knows all about it.
Yeah, I know. Michael T. Welcome, hail. Yeah, there's always something that throws me off in a Star Wars novel that reminds me that the people who wrote it don't live in Star Wars, like in a galaxy far, far away. Like using the word toilet instead of evacuator. I don't know.
In the original novel of Star Wars, Luke drives his speeder real fast into the town, and this old lady yells at him like, "Slow down!" And there's a, forget how it actually goes, but as they're describing the town that Luke's driving into, I believe it's Anchorhead, they actually say a dog. They talk about a dog, and then later on, Obi-Wan says something to him about that would be like a duck out of water, and Luke says, "What's a duck?" And so they actually refer to a dog and a duck in the original novel.
Well, if he called him a loath duck, they would have knew exactly what it was.
Exactly.
Yeah,
got your loft ducks, your loft ticks, your lothopotamuses, lothraptors, loft cats,
giraffe.
Yeah.
For the Australians,
and then you got your
refresher. Yeah, that word is stupid. Like, that's what they've always used in the EU.
For the Australians, we have the Lothrop bear.
Yes.
Then you have different breeds of loft dogs, like a Lotharanian, a loft poodle. You got a loft chihuahua. It's amazing what you can do.
That's probably not the correct quote out of the book.
Weiler.
No. Yeah, that would be stupid.
I'm glad Mo's paying attention.
Yeah, Mo, keep us legit over here. That's why he's here. I still haven't figured out how to mod you, Mo. I'm looking constantly. If you keep seeing me looking over here.
Well, while we're waiting for you to grant him a wrench, Crazy, you were going to go into it about Balin Skull, the guy who's totally not the old man in the mountain who turns out to be a clone of a Jedi, right?
Played by the great actor Ray Stevenson,
who died recently.
Yes, rest in peace.
So what?
Rest in peace.
They do with his character now. If he doesn't die in this season, what are they going to do?
I do not know how they're going to play this, but if
they'll have to do like Grand Moff Tarkin
recast or what they'll do with it. It's one
I appreciate that, Mo. I think I've got that book over here. May I go?
Yeah, it's going to be hard to handle that if there's not like a good conclusion, because that's not just any other actor you can kind of swap out. You
Yes.
know, he's a pretty unique guy, and it is really sad to see him go. So if anything, to watch this, to kind of see this as like, the last role he's ever done, I hope it's a good one, man. That's all I can hope. But we actually got a little video of them from the trailer that's kind of hanging out here. If you want to go ahead and
Just what you
slap
sent me.
damn thing on.
War is inevitable. One must destroy in order to create.
Those guys looked like they had wires on them, and someone just was standing behind them and just yanked them back. Look,
We are no Jedi.
Yeah, so that's Balin Skull and Shin Hati, two characters who, as he stated, are no Jedi. But what we can glean from the trailer is kind of interesting as to where they might be from. Crazy, can you go into that in a little bit?
Hail Corey.
Yeah,
Hail,
hey,
Corey.
Corey Barton. Well, we don't know if they're Jedi or Sith, but we know at one time Balin Skull was a Jedi who knew Anakin Skywalker, and he did know of Ahsoka because in the trailer it is stated that Anakin always spoke very highly of you.
Yeah, exactly. So potentially from the Order, he spoke to Anakin a couple times. He said that Anakin spoke highly of her. That doesn't necessarily mean that he never saw her. You know, he might just be reminding her. So they might actually have some sort of a past. But he's not just some stranger from like the outer regions. He might have gone there. There are a few things that make these guys kind of unique. They're orangish, reddish lightsabers, which I'm not sure exactly what those are supposed to mean. Because
There are definitely
Sorry.
questions for those orange lightsabers to be solved or figured out.
right, because it's like, okay, are those natural kyber crystals? And if so, why haven't we seen them before? Is Disney just trying to make new toys? That's realistically what it is. I'm going to act as if it isn't. But is there, when you turn your lightsabers red, you have to kind of bleed the kyber crystals, right? That's what the current continuity is. So is it like a half bleed? What's going on here? You know?
Hey, Caroline.
Maybe they just have orange kyber crystals out in the unknown regions, and they found them out there. But that's probably not what it is, because that'd be too simple.
Well,
But
we don't know how he escaped Order 66 either. He could be any number of places.
yeah, he could have been out there the whole time that went down, and now he's back. He seems to be a little bit evil now. So what did he find out there?
Which leads to one of the points: is he or is he not allied with Thrawn?
Right. It seems like he is to an extent, but for what reasons? You know, is he Empire loyal or is he Thrawn loyal? If he's Thrawn loyal, then all of a sudden you can mix in things like the Chiss ascendancy. You know, would he be working for them? I don't know. I'm interested to see, particularly from these two characters. I think these two guys are kind of like fresh enough as far as characters go to kind of get me into wanting to watch this series. Yeah, so it's pretty cool. I don't know. Maybe they're orange. Let's see, orange EU waist color, typically wielded by gray. So that's what we're kind of thinking. Like, could they be gray Jedi or former gray Jedi? My thought was, you know, Sentinels usually have a yellow lightsaber. Could that be like a bled yellow saber? There's no reason that would be the case, but that's just my thought. That's what I see when I see the color palette. Again, more than likely, it's just Disney needs to sell toys, so they're like, let's come up with a new color. Cool.
Back like when episode 1, it wasn't until episode 2 with the Geonosis battle where you actually saw on screen a ton of Jedi, and they all, except for Mace Windu, had blue or green. Before that, in the comics, you know, everywhere lightsabers could be whatever color. That, you know, they had all different kinds. Even look at some of the episode 1 action figures, and they've got like purple and different colors.
Yeah, Kiari Mundi had a purple lightsaber at one point. You know, in the EU, there were plenty of yellow lightsabers around.
I think someone did have a pink one, Corey. I can't remember.
It probably will be Doc Afra. That's what's going to happen. She's going to get the pink saber.
Mo's always the optimist. He loves Disney stars and.
Mo Biggs will let the hate flow through you. Appreciate you, Mo.
Chartreuse, huh?
Chartreuse.
What colors?
I don't even know what color that is.
I don't either. I've heard of it, but is it like describe chartreuse to us, please, Samurai?
Describe a color? Is that what you want me to do for you?
Yeah, you can do like it's kind of like red, yellowish. Red, you can describe colors.
Oh man,
we never got
through.
We got to Ezra, and then we talked about Sabine. Who else is there? Chopper, the droid.
Well, there's Thrawn.
Yeah, Thrawn is next up on the list.
Okay. We already talked about Thrawn a bit. Are the writers smart enough to write a very, very smart character who's smarter than all of them? Probably not. So you probably just hear all the other characters telling us how smart he is.
One thing I enjoy about this...
Okay, a yellow-green. There, thank you.
One thing I enjoy, I liked Thrawn in Rebels. I thought they did an okay job with that, and they brought back the actor Lars Mikkelsen for this cast. And how he looks on screen, I'm not too concerned with, as long as he's blue with red eyes. And he sounds the part. To me, he sounds the part, because he is the only Thrawn voice I've ever heard.
He looks more like Thrawn than Ahsoka looks like Ahsoka. So yeah, he's not really hard to get. Just blue with red eyes and a dude. So
the big part is, whether he's going to be written well or not. And how much he's even in the series.
It seems to me like they're going to be kind of like MacGuffins, him and Ezra, where the whole show is they're going to be looking for him, or
according to the IMDb page, he's in 2 episodes. Whether that's accurate or not, I do not know, but that's the way he is listed.
Can you guys see what I'm sharing?
Here we go. He does look kind of weird.
A little bit.
He's got eyeballs in his red eyes, and his chin. I don't know. He looks kind of weird.
He looks like Elon Musk to me. Like if Elon was blue with red eyes.
Ahsoka has white lightsabers. She like what they were saying before, she bled red crystals into white.
Yeah, she purified them. So she found red kyber crystals that were corrupted by the Sith, and then she purified them. That's why they're white. So I don't know if anybody else does that.
I think they showed that in the new Tales of the Jedi cartoon. She kills that one Inquisitor, and I think that's where she gets them. I can't remember if they showed that in the cartoon or not.
Those shorts are pretty great. I think those are all worth a watch, especially Dooku's. Those are great.
Those are some of the best things Disney's put out, really, in my opinion. Mo Biggs won't like them because he doesn't like the animation. I've heard him say it several times, but those are actually pretty good. He also doesn't like the prequels, so he probably doesn't care about Qui-Gon and Dooku. But that's what they're about, and they're very good. Any of the rest of you?
One of the questions about Thrawn is, will Captain Pelion be in this show?
Right, because Captain Pelion is in Mando. Season, what was it, up to 3?
3.
Yeah, season 3. So we saw Captain Pelion in there. Will he make a return here? Because he was, he was the side guy with Thrawn through most of the books. So I don't know. It'd be nice to see that character return. We've already seen him in continuity right now. Why not bring him in?
Well, there's a lot of characters that I'm wondering whether or not will make appearances in this show. Zeb Aurelius, who made an appearance in Mando, it looked really good. It's probably the best part of season 3.
Yes. Curiously enough, they don't have him listed in IMDb, which gives me
I
pause to
don't
think they
know
might
if
be
he's
in
in
here.
the show, and I'm kind of thinking they showed him on that other show, and he looked so good because they spent a lot of money on the CGI and time, and they can't really afford to show him weekly in the crew. So my theory is they put him in that to explain why he's not in Ahsoka, because now he flies around with Dave Filoni and their X-Wing squad or something like that.
Another character that I will absolutely lose my shit if he shows up is Hondo Ohnaka.
Dude.
Count Dooku's the best Sith Lord ever. Crazy argues with me all the time and says they should have kept Darth Maul alive and not had Count Dooku, but he's wrong. See Mo Biggs. That's Mo Biggs' first opinion I've ever heard.
Maul
negative about every single thing about the prequels. So.
But Ape, what was you going on? What was you going to say?
I don't even remember.
We were talking about Hondo.
Right. Well, getting Hondo in, that would be one of those little extra treats that we could give to the people who've been watching the cartoons. Hondo is a constant reoccurring character in both Clone Wars and Rebels, and he's kind of a charming, devious little pirate man who's probably very old right now. So old that they could probably just paint Jim Cummings brown and put him on the show. No CGI required. Just put a little things in his hair and we're good to go from there. But I would love to see Hondo. It'd be a lot of fun. But is it going to happen? I kind of doubt it.
Well, we can always hope for season 2 if he doesn't show up. But I would love to hear it is I, Hondo Ohnaka. Just once. Just once in live action.
Just once. We do have some interesting characters confirmed here. For example, we have Huyang, right? Who's being played by David Tennant, one of the doctors. And this is interesting because Huyang, for those who don't know, is this droid who would train young Jedi, right? Or soon to be Jedi, in how to build their lightsabers. And he had this vast knowledge of lightsaber building.
Every
and,
lightsaber ever built was in his.
Every lightsaber ever built. And also, he kept track of the Jedi. Because if you remember in that episode in Clone Wars, he remarked on that Wookiee child and said, "Oh, Wookiee, we don't see many of those Jedi." And how else does he know that unless he's keeping track?
He was cool. He'll be cool in the show. Got kind of excited when I saw him. Like, oh, look. Remember in the episode, he goes, "Deep in space." I forget exactly what he's talking about. But.
Yeah, but that's going to be interesting. He might be important to the formation of Luke's school, if it's not already being formed right now. Probably pretty important to Balin and any Inquisitors after him for all the information that he has. Because with the library sacked and the librarian killed, right, who else has this kind of extensive knowledge of the Jedi? Who could potentially be used to pinpoint a few remaining ones, right? So that's going to be a really interesting one. And of course, let's see if I can find a picture of this guy. We got Rex coming in. And crazy, who's playing Rex?
Tamora Morrison is reprising his role as Rex.
Yeah, Tamora Morrison, for those who don't know, played Jango Fett in episode 2, who was the source for all of the clones to be made. So that's why he plays Boba Fett later in the Boba Fett TV series, which you don't need to watch at all. It's not good. It sucks so bad. It sucks so much.
Yeah,
Only reason
we are not big Boba fans here. Like, we're Boba Fett fans, but not the show Boba fan.
Yeah, no. Unless you want to like become attached to two Gamorrean guards only to see them later get hucked off a cliff. If that's something you want to do, then watch the show, I guess. But otherwise,
That Rancor smash in the city was kind of cool, but it was stupid at the same time. But it was kind of cool to watch.
No, the best episode of Boba didn't even have Boba in it. It was a Mandalorian episode.
Here's what I want to know, Blue Samurai. Okay, if Darth Maul gets cut at the waist and it's cauterized, like think about that. Like, how does he take a crap? That's what I want to know.
well, that's why he's.
Yeah. Did he have to, like,
that's why
poke
he's
it in
angry,
hole?
Steve. That's why he's so mad because he's just like
constipated for 14 years.
Another character that we know we're going to see, that's not speculation, Morgan Elsbeth.
Yeah.
Oh
Morgan
yeah,
Elsbeth.
She was from Mando. Ahsoka fodder when that first episode she appeared in Mando.
Yep, season 2. Yeah. I believe it was episode 5. She had a full Beskar staff, which no one knows how she got that.
What happens when we find Thrawn?
Oh, I just wanted to use this clip to kind of show something interesting. Got my brain. Oh, wait. Oh, dang. Let's go back. What is that down there?
That thing's cool.
That thing is cool, but what's that thing below the thing?
Oh.
The green fire.
Green fire. Who uses green fire?
The Night Sisters.
That's what I'm saying. There's a lot to Morgan Elsbeth. She's not just a trained fighter. She's not just a devious woman who's in league with Thrawn. I'm thinking, no, it's not The Witcher. I'm thinking at some point the Night Sisters are getting involved. And I say, why not? Because they've been involved in both animated series, Clone Wars, as well as Rebels.
And they were very highly interesting characters. Some of the best episodes of the Clone Wars is involved with the whole Night Sister arc.
Corey's gonna love Ahsoka. There's nothing but alien babes in this show.
Yes. In fact, Rosario Dawson is Ahsoka. Natasha Liu Bordizzo is Sabine Wren, and the very sexy Mary Elizabeth Winstead is also in this show.
You guys.
Oh yeah, that's true. Oh my gosh. Yeah, she's going to play one of the characters we'd almost forgotten to talk about, Harrison Dula, who had a kid with Kanan, right? A human being. That's kind of odd.
It makes total sense that a Twi'lek with green skin would have a baby from a human that had green hair. That's exactly how biology works.
I just want to know, like, what does it feel like to pull on those Leku? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm totally... I would totally get into that Twilight girl, dude.
You guys...
Oh, yeah.
You guys are disgusting.
Hello, and welcome to a very special and important episode of Steve, That Star Wars Boy, starring me, Steve, That Star Wars Boy, the most knowledgeable Star Wars expert on all of the Earth. Recently, it has come to my attention that a disturbing number of our audience members may be involved in perverse, deviant, sexual delusions involving Ewoks and other fictional Star Wars aliens. The following is a public service announcement. Ewoks are not real. Repeat, Ewoks are not real. They're just little people in costumes. Seen here, actual photos taken on the set of actual Lucasfilm productions. Chewbacca, also not real. Sand people, not real. Twi'leks, well, some of them are kind of hulking. They are also not real. None of them are real. I hope you find this helpful. If you still find yourself aroused by any Star Wars aliens, your best course of action for your own good and that of society in general would be to suppress those feelings as deep as you can and never, ever, ever tell anyone about them. Ever. Thank you for watching, and please send your non-having sex with Star Wars aliens, Star Wars questions to me, Steve, that Star Wars boy, the most knowledgeable Star Wars expert on all of the earth. See you next time.
That's a little blast from the past there, but it's still as relevant as ever, as you can see by these comments in the chat. And if you want to put, hey, Oz, I'll share that.
Hey,
Yeah.
If you want to put Star Wars questions in the chat or comments, I can answer them in upcoming episodes. But please remember, non-having sex with Star Wars aliens questions only, please.
So essentially, Steve is banning Corey from any questions. Sorry, Corey. You are not allowed to enter any questions into the chat. But yes, please send Steve, that Star Wars boy, your Star Wars related questions. Test his knowledge. It is truly extensive. Any Blue Milk Social, you just come on in here, test him out. He's ready for your questions. I want to welcome some of the people here. I didn't ever get to say hello to. Yeah, we got NTM Comics. Welcome.
Noah, how's it going?
Hey, Noah.
What's going on, Noah? Got Oz Great Sage, who's spreading the good word around here about Darth Talon. Appreciate it.
Did we see Jeremy Burt's come in?
Jay Burt's is
A
here.
little while ago, yeah. Always good to see him.
Absolutely.
Jeremy Burt's does some good Star Wars drawings he puts on Twitter sometimes.
There you go. Go ahead and follow Jeremy Burt's over on Twitter there. We've got Michael T, who's just firing up the chat here, man. He's got tons of knowledge. He might be able to rival Steve, that Star Wars boy, the most knowledgeable Star Wars expert. I don't know.
One thing. Oh, sorry.
No, go for it, buddy.
One thing, if you do ask a Steve That Star Wars Boy question and it is used on the stream, you will receive a free PDF of the Steve That Star Wars Boy calendar.
Ooh.
I got to put it in my folder. I can't show it right now.
It's a live show, folks. We've clearly ironed everything out.
Yeah. Does one of you guys in the chat know how to make someone a mod? What do I need to do over here?
I'm fairly sure you got to go into the YouTube and you got to click on their name.
Okay.
Let's do this. Come on, gang. We got this. We're gonna make a mod tonight. It's no longer about Ahsoka. I want to see wrenches everywhere.
Okay.
No, Aldous, the calendar is not current. It's from 2021.
Look.
Which is in line with other calendars from CG.
I did it, I think.
You got it?
I think so. Who else wants to be a mod?
You definitely got to get Felix Haas in there.
Yeah, I'm looking for him. He might have left. Oh, here he is. Add as moderator. All right, now we're up to speed. You want to be a mod, Michael T? You know a lot about Star Wars. You can ban people who ask too many Star Wars alien sex questions.
Aldous got me on a technicality here, Steve, so you will need to send him a PDF.
Okay.
He asked if the calendar is current, and since I answered it on the show, he now gets a calendar.
Okay. Yeah, it is 2024, but we'll make a new one in 2025. Let's see if I can.
Felix is still here.
Hey, Felix. Are you guys modded now? Did it work? Yeah, I see blue. Michael T. Felix, Mo Biggs. Who else wants to be a mod? If you want to be a mod, just say I want to be a mod, and I'll make you a
Corey
mod.
said he wanted to be a mod.
Okay.
Wait, can I be a mod?
Oh yeah. Type
Yeah,
something
make me
in
a
the
mod.
chat. Yeah, you guys should be mods too. I didn't even think about that. Okay, here. Ape.
Oh, yeah, there we go. We've armed Michael T. Excellent.
Ape is a mod. Did you comment in here crazy anywhere?
I just did.
Okay.
Is that your mouse wheel?
Yeah, it needs some oil, man. It needs some grease. It's got a squeaky wheel. Mo's in here banning people already. Sorry, Corey, but we've got rules and standards. Sorry, man. Okay, we'll make Aldous a mod. He's like one of the most responsible people we know. Like,
While you're
Corey.
modding the chat, we have
I was gonna. All right, Corey. Well, now Mo can't. But no, I'm telling you, no Star Wars alien sex questions, Corey. You gotta behave.
and no weeb shit.
Oh man, yeah, Mo
Well,
is savage.
While you're going through and modding the chat, we have
I'm gonna just mod all of them.
We have one more character to discuss, and that is and that is Hayden Christensen, Anakin Skywalker, who's going to show up on this show.
That is true. Now, to some, this kind of seems like bait, not unlike Obi-Wan, right? But bait that it might be, it does make sense for the story, right? Because of Anakin's attachment to Ahsoka. And while her leaving the Order wasn't the straw that broke the camel's back, it certainly didn't help. And it helps us to understand why he turned in episode 3, right? The question is, though, like, how is Anakin going to get used in this show? What is he doing here? Is he going to be a holocron like what we've seen in Rebels? Is he going to be a Force ghost? If he's a Force ghost, why is he coming up to Ahsoka and not to, like, Luke training Grogu, right? Is it going to be a memory? Is it going to be a flashlight? Wow. Flashback. Like what we saw in Obi-Wan, which, frankly, that flashback didn't do much for the show at all. Is it going to be a vision? Or is it going to be some of this world between worlds stuff that we'd seen in Rebels? I mean, what are your guys' thoughts? What do you think about Anakin's appearance?
If they do the world between world stuff, like the rumors suggest that she goes back to Mustafar, I am not going to be very happy about that.
Yeah, it sounds really stupid.
That is a played out George Lucas, not played out as in like played out, but that is a George Lucas written thing, and I don't think that should be played with by Disney. But if it's a flashback or he's in a holocron or...
They did have a holocron with Anakin. They showed in Rebels. Ezra was training to learn how to use his lightsaber, and he was looking at a holocron that had a recording of Anakin Skywalker going through the training. And then remember, Ahsoka comes in and starts talking about he was a great Jedi and all this. So they do have a holocron with Anakin in it. So it could be that.
And even if he's a Force ghost, I'd be okay with that too.
I don't know. I think in this case I'd prefer flashback or vision. Like a Force vision would be kind of cool. Like she's having some trouble, and then the Force tries to guide her, kind of like what happened on Dagobah, right? That would be acceptable. Force ghost, I'm not totally sold. Michael T has probably the best theory I've seen so far, though.
Where? Oh, okay, yeah.
It's Anakin going through exposure therapy by standing on a beach. We all know how much he hates sand.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, shoot, I'd hate sand too.
Everybody.
I like it. You can build castles. It's like at the beach. You stand like right where the water's coming in and let it like go to your toes. That's kind of cool.
Steve, it's coarse. And
It's rough.
It gets everywhere.
They got like little shower things up by the parking lot. You can rinse it all off before you get in the car.
So if Anakin was at the beach and just found one of those little showers and kind of toweled off the sand, do you think this could have prevented all those younglings dying?
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
I'm not in.
Ladies and gentlemen, take your showers, okay? Wash off after the beach. You don't want sandy buns getting you all irritated, okay? And Oz Great Sage brings up a great point. Sand is great for digging. Digging is cool.
It is. You can like find stuff underground or bury stuff.
Well,
where were you guys when Anakin was having his troubles? I mean, just bring up these great points. Feels nice in your toes. It's good for digging.
It's like he was talking about desert sand and she was talking about beach sand, and they're two totally different things. Where's another level of wrench? Oh.
No, Steve. Don't confuse yourself. We just got you wrenching people. We're on a good track right now. So overall, as far as the show goes, I don't know. I'm cautiously optimistic. I like Rosario Dawson's performance. I just kind of like Rosario Dawson. I'm going to confess. But as far as the cast goes, like they did a really good job casting these characters, making them look like the characters we'd expect to see them as. Disney has failed us in the past with a lot of the shows that are kind of in this same vein, right? The Mando, the Django, Boba. This is not in the vein of Andor. Obi-Wan, yeah. This is not in the vein of Andor. This is a different show than that. It's not in the vein of the cartoons. So that's got me worried. But we'll see. How do you guys feel about the show so far?
Hope Lizzo comes back.
Why do you hate us, Steve? Why do you hate us?
I heard you got fired. Mike Zero did a video about it.
Yeah, hopefully she never shows up to another Star Wars property ever again.
I guarantee you that was her publicist talking to somebody at Disney saying, look, Lizzo needs an EGOT. So you need to get her into a show so she can win an award for it.
She's got the E and the G.
There you go. It just needs the O and the T. But if she keeps making her dancers eat the bananas out of like Austrians, like snatches, I don't know if she's going to be in performance. She's doing some wild stuff.
They're like, okay, you can be in an episode of Ahsoka, but you can't bring the bananas.
Can't bring the bananas, and you can't make your dancers watch the sequels anymore. That's simply not humane.
Oh yeah, that was no wonder they're disgruntled. That's just too far.
But are you guys optimistic about the show? I mean, Steve, what would you say?
I am cautiously optimistic. I was a big fan of Rebels, and I've always wanted to see where this story goes. And I'm kind of glad they're going there, but I'm going to call it like I see it. If I like it, I'm going to say I like it. And if I just duck on trash, I'm going to call it trash.
I just don't know. I mean, every time I get my hopes up, they put out a good episode and then the next one's total garbage.
And that's another interesting point because all of these episodes are written by Filoni, but only 2 are directed by him.
Yeah, we do have a director's list. Dave Filoni is going to be doing episode 1 and episode 5. Rick Famuyiwa is going to be doing an episode, and he is a veteran of 6 Mandalorian episodes.
Look at 80s over here hating. He hopes it's bad. Just
I don't hope it's bad. I've never hoped that. Like, I've always wanted Star Wars to be good. I always wanted it to take me back to my childhood.
Like, what if the sequels would have been good? That would have been awesome.
Yes, if the sequels would have not been dog shit, they would have been excellent. And we have episode 2 and 3 are going to be directed by a person named Steph Green.
Oh, Steph
Oh
Green.
yeah, I know who that is.
Yeah, Steph Green. He's worked with Lucas before,
Oh no, that's the wrong
right?
one.
Oh, I
Honest,
think I got
but
it.
also diplomatic as possible. My point of
This is
view
the
is
wrong
when
one,
you
though.
take a beloved character and fundamentally change that
No, that's
character
Sam Witwer.
between
I know, that's what I'm saying. It's the wrong one. I don't know what I'm doing. Hold on.
Well, I think I found the video that you're looking for.
All right, I found it. It's
These are the vids that you're looking for.
Oh yeah, here it is. Steph Green. Ah hell.
It's a live show, folks.
Here it is. It's buffering. The hell
Got a lot
happened?
of horn dogs in here.
Hey,
You brought
no
it on
way.
You brought it
There
on
it is.
yourself.
I don't want you here.
That's Steph Green
Ow.
Sorry,
right
George. I
there.
didn't think it would go like this.
Yeah, right there in the center.
Out.
Ted, I got your voucher.
Out! There.
I'm sorry about that. I'm so sorry. We'll have him like burned and we'll
I don't even
executed
know
and
who
burned.
that guy is.
This is how
So I sit there
he
all
got
day
the job
long.
right here.
Yeah, he burnt that guy at the stake. That's how you do it. Nice job, Steph Green. So we got Steph Green directing. That's going to be excellent.
Yeah, the 2 episodes we get tomorrow, the first one will be done by Baloney, and the second one will be done by Steph Green, who is not Seth Green.
Oh, you said Steph
what?
Green.
I think I do 80s, but my VCR broke, so I haven't seen it in a long time. But I went to Fowler's, and he had the original version of Empire Strikes Back, and we watched it real big on a projection TV.
Wow. I
It was-
watched Return of the Jedi in theaters, but it was the super edited version. It was
Oh,
it was
97, 98?
yeah. Yeah, exactly. That's okay. Slice Noodles got her time in the spotlight.
Slice noodles.
Yeah.
And the Jizz Whalers.
Yeah, jizz.
Here's my question.
It's a cool kind of music.
Here's my question. Max Rebo appears in the sequels. How the hell did he get off of Jabba's barge?
Was he even on Jabba's barge?
I am pretty certain he was on
Yeah, he
Jabba's
was.
barge.
He's like the first one they show. Play his music when in the first shot as the sail barge comes up, and then they show him. He's like the first one.
Well, maybe he's just
When's he in the
quick
sequel
thinker.
trilogy? I don't remember that. I
Yeah,
try
I
not
think
to
he
remember
was.
the sequel trilogy very much.
Fair enough. I don't think you've even seen number 9, have you?
I've seen it twice.
It's a funny one. I like what
Fair.
Michael T says. He says, full disclosure, I'm not expecting great things from Ahsoka, but as it is Ray Stevenson's last recorded performance, I'll check it out. Absolutely. Check it out. Let's see how Ray does here. He really brings it in the trailer. So I'm looking forward to see his performance. And, we'll see how the show takes off from there. There's a lot of places it could go. You could bring in the Chiss Ascendancy, as we saw earlier. You could also be bringing in the Night Sisters. You're going a lot of different directions. And that's what's kind of nice about bringing in these shows like Rebels and Clone Wars, is they kind of branch out from the continuity, the Skywalker continuity. And that's kind of refreshing at times. So I don't know, man. I'm stoked. I'm ready for it now. I'm ready for what is it, Tuesday, 6, 8?
Tomorrow night, or tonight, technically. It's Tuesday.
At 9. Yeah, it would be 6 West time, and it's 9 Eastern. Yeah, if nothing else, they cast it magnificently.
The trailer looks good, but
You got a who's who of good actors in there: Mary Elizabeth Winstead and Rosario Dawson and Ray Stevenson, Lars Mikkelsen,
David Tennant.
David Tennant. So if nothing else, it is cast fairly well.
Yeah, man. So we just got to wait and see. We will be watching it ourselves, and we will be talking about the show next week. It probably won't be at this same time. What are you guys thinking? Like Tuesday night, is it?
If the show starts at 3, just with all of our schedules, we can get together Tuesday night at 1, do a recap of last week's show and a pre-show to get you guys all hyped up to go in to the new episodes. That was our original plan, was do this tomorrow at 1, but they moved the premiere date. So our whole plan of doing a pre-show would have been stupid if we did it after the show had already aired. So that's what we're going to do normally. We're going to go on right
David
before Ahsoka
Tennant.
airs.
David who? Exactly, Mo Biggs. For all the Whovians out there, they know who he is.
Clever. Despecialized. That's like saying unsweetened iced tea. That shit bothers me. I'm going to be honest. I go to the McDonald's, I'm like, iced tea, and they're like, you want that sweet or unsweetened? I said iced tea. If I want sugar in it, I'll ask you to put it in there. Despecialized.
Yeah. Yeah, they took these off of the laser disc cut, and they put them on a DVD in like 2008 or 10 or something. It's been a long time, but they came in a box like such with a little book and a DVD, and they go for over $100 now on eBay, I think.
Whew. Crazy, man. Well, all right. Well, yeah, we'll be back here next week on the Blue Milk Social, talking all sorts of Star Wars smack with me, the Belay.
Me, Crazy Mad.
And Steve, that Star Wars boy, the most knowledgeable Star Wars expert on all of the earth. I guess that's it. We're going to wrap this up.
Go away now.
Here's our cool outro.
Yeah, it looks great. I like it.
I don't know how to get Blue Samurai's comment off of that.
You gotta click it again.
There we go.
All this, that's too kind. You probably had your phone off all day, but I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for showing up, everyone. We kind of like boomed our way through this. We'll get better next week. Maybe.
Yeah, it'll be better next time. Later, Sumo, Mo, of course.
We copied this off the Mando.
See 80s, Ice Queen Caroline, and Jeremy Birds, Felix Haas. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Yes, it was totally wizard.
But don't drink and drive.